Hi, welcome to the Get Ready with God podcast. My name is Julie Taylor and I'm your host, and I am not God. Obviously, I'm not an expert. I'm not even a scriptorian. I'm literally just a girl sitting in front of a microphone, hoping God is real. The Get Ready with God podcast is the daily devotional podcast to help you see divinity in every day. Have you been seeing it? I actually have. I actually have been seeing the divinity in every day. And yet, I still struggle to believe. It's my toxic trait. Okay, yesterday was Simon's birthday, so we could talk about that, but I feel like we already did. So let's move on. It was a good day. It was a good day, by the way. But at one point in the day, I was laying in my bed and I really was craving some connection with divinity. Like I wanted to feel connected in a very specific way. And the connection I was craving is the type that I usually find on a sunset walk, alone with my headphones on, listening to music, just walking as the sun sets with the sky at a certain place around my house where it's a little bit more remote. I don't know. Like there's not a lot of people around or cars. And I was laying in my bed and I just really wanted that connection. But I also didn't want to get out of bed. And I just kind of had this thought of like, well, if you want that, you have to go on the walk. You have to take the walk. And the thing is, even if I take the walk, that feeling, that connection, that meaningful experience is not guaranteed because it's not every single time. But if I even wanted a chance at it, I needed to take the walk. And because I'm insufferable, I immediately thought of it as a metaphor for something bigger, and that is that we have to take the walk. You know that I believe deeply that God never leaves, and I do believe that at times God will seek you, find you, go to you, reach you. And I have experienced that in my most faithless times. God has come to me and sought me out. And I believe that that will happen. I guess what I mean when I say God never leaves is that, yes, sometimes God will seek you out, find you, pursue you. Maybe always. I could be wrong about this. But in my experience, that has happened. But more often, what I feel like it means is that He's always there right next to you, waiting for you to turn and say, okay, I'm here. So it's like He's always available, always there, but sometimes we have to be the ones to open ourselves up to it. Sometimes that can be as simple as saying out loud, like, okay, hi, I'm open, I'm willing, I'm here, I'm praying, I'm trying, I'm talking. But sometimes it means more effort. And I know that for me, I've gone through seasons of my life where I haven't been willing to get out of bed, metaphorically. I haven't been willing to put myself in places where I can be reached. And I don't mean like sacred, holy places necessarily. I just mean mentally. I have not been open to God. And so even though He was right there, if I'm not open to it, He values our agency above all else, right? And so if I'm not willing to get out of bed, if I'm not willing to go on the walk for whole seasons of my life, but then I complain that I don't feel connected to God and that God's not there, that's kind of on me. The accountability there is mine, not God's. And so if you're in a season where you're like, where is God? God is silent. God's not here. God doesn't love me. God doesn't care. Ask yourself if you're getting out of bed. Are you taking the walk? And maybe you are, because I've also experienced feeling silence and distance and forgotten, and like I can't connect even when I'm getting out of bed and taking the walk. And to be very fair, yesterday, it was just an okay walk, just an okay sunset. It was not some huge meaningful experience, even though it was this big day. It's a hard anniversary and I took the time to go on the walk. Like it's not always some monumental experience, but I'm glad I went on the walk anyway. And so I guess it's this. It's if you want God to reach you, you need to get yourself to a place where you can be reached mentally, emotionally, and sometimes physically. We have to get out of bed, and sometimes God will be the one to get us out of bed. So that's where I'm like, I do think it goes both ways. I think there are times when God comes to us, but I do think more often it is God never leaves and He's waiting for us to be open to it. And I did think as I went on that walk last night, lately I have felt a little bit like just uninspired. Like I just don't know quite what to do or what to say or what to create or what's important. And I'm just kind of going through the motions, which I think is okay. It's not like some big crisis in life to just go through the motions for a bit. But I just had the thought yesterday of Like, God is ready to teach when we're teachable. God has answers when we're ready to listen. God has stuff for us to do when we become willing. And for me, I think sometimes I think that I'm willing because I'm trying really hard, right? I'm taking a lot of walks, literally and metaphorically. I'm putting in a lot of effort, and that's when I get really discouraged or just kind of worn out or tired. They're just like, okay, I'm doing all the things. I'm taking all the walks. I'm putting in the effort, and I still am just not really feeling connected or inspired or peace or called. And I have learned there's degrees of willingness and degrees of readiness, and that sometimes I just don't think I'm ready yet for what's next. Maybe I need to fail. Remember yesterday's episode? Maybe I need to fail a few more times. Maybe I need to learn a few more things. But we always think that our current stage is our most enlightened and our most ready and our most prepared. And it might be, but that doesn't mean that we're ready enough, prepared enough, or open enough, or willing enough. And so we have to keep taking the walks, even through these seasons where it feels like we're putting the effort and we're getting tired and we're not seeing the results that we want to, maybe. But we have to keep taking the walks, and we have to keep working to get ourselves in a place where we can be reached, and stop blaming God and saying God has forgotten me, or God is not there, or God is not real, when it's me who has made myself unreachable. It's a mental shift, sometimes a physical shift. But the other thing I really do know is that a little effort matters. We don't have to do these huge things. We don't have to take great leaps. It can be as simple as just shifting an intention of, maybe I'll look for divinity today. Maybe I'll try on the belief that God is real. Maybe I'll look for the signs of being reached. And maybe my only prayer is, help me open up to this whole idea. Love ya. Bye.